ViewSonic was founded in 1987 in California, is present in over 100 countries, and has over 35 years of expertise in visual technology. And today I'm going to look at the V57 4K RGB laser projector. Now, I asked for this projector from the awesome people at Synergy Audio Visual. The V57 is an RGB laser projector and uses a red, green and blue laser set at specific wavelengths to create these bold colors. The ViewSonic RGB laser projector is capable of reproducing the BT2020 aka REC 2020 color gamut. Now, to give you a little bit of an insight into the BT2020 aka the REC 2020, here's a quick rundown. Now, BT2020 produces approximately about 75% of all colors the human eye can see, in comparison to DCI-P3. Now, DCI stands for Digital Cinema Initiative, which produces about 53%, and REC 709, which is the color standard for high definition, well, that produces about 35%. The ViewSonic V57 laser projector is producing the BT2020 color gamut, and I must say the colors are pretty bold. So the ViewSonic is using this RGB laser technology. Now, this projector, well, its laser life is 20,000 hours. Now, if you have the projector in eco mode, you can get up to 30,000 hours. When I had a projector that was lamp, I got 3,500 hours out of that. Now, I wouldn't watch a movie every night or TV. It was probably every second day to every third day, and I got 5 years out of that projector. So there's a comparison, 20,000 hours to 30,000 hours. Well, this projector is going to last you quite some time. The ViewSonic has 3500 lumens. It does 4K and has HDR and also supports HDR10. The projector image size can go from 60 inch all the way to a massive 300 inches. It also has vertical lens shift, which can be accessed here. It has 2 HDMI ports that are both HDMI 2.2. And one thing I really like, I know it's a small thing, but I think it's absolutely important to have this. It does have a backlit remote. So when you're watching those movies or TV shows in the dark, at least you can grab that remote and the light does come on. Now, I've set the projector up. I've made this makeshift stand for now. I love that I can access everything on board the projector itself. I actually found it easier. And out of the box, the picture on this is pretty good. I mean, the colors, this is the second time I'm setting it up. And I didn't have to go in and change the gamma. I didn't have to do the brightness. I didn't have to. It's pretty much, as soon as you plug it in, once you've got it set up to your screen, it's pretty good. Like, I didn't have to adjust anything. I was actually pretty happy with it. Now, one thing I wanted to show, notice on either side, I've got it pretty square. I had to adjust the keystone, and the keystone is actually on the unit. It's actually a fast access button. They've got it there so you can make those adjustments. Now, I had it at 5, and it made that picture square. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase that image here. I'm just going to turn. I like the image going over just a tad. Now, one thing I do to get that writing, it's in focus now. I focus it to the writing. That's just me. You can do it whatever way, but the focus is the lens right at the front. I just got that perfectly in focus, and then I know the rest of the writing is going to be in focus. But I'm ready to go. That's it. I'm ready to go. So I've got my PlayStation here. The last game I was playing, I was actually playing God of War. The game, down the bottom, see where it says HDMI? It'll go 1920 by 120 hertz. So whatever you're throwing at it, this projector will make that adjustment. It'll let you know in that bottom corner. It's not that the projector can't do it, just make sure what you're throwing at it can do that resolution. So there are some PS5 games that don't do 120 hertz or 1440p. It's not the projector, because the projector is perfectly capable of doing it. I actually found I had to go through my PS5 games and find out what could actually do 1080p, 120 hertz, and what games can do 1440p. That's on the PlayStation. I don't have an Xbox. I'd love an Xbox. I mean, I'm not in either house. I'd have both if I could. I really don't mind. I've still got some old Xbox 360 games. So when you're watching Netflix or anything, it'll let you know what resolution it's in. I got sucked into this game. I haven't gamed for a little while, but when I started playing this on this screen, it was pretty awesome, and I now want to finish the game. And playing it on a big screen like this, I tell you what, it was so cinematic. It was awesome. Now if I turn this light off, yeah, it's a bit better. I still got some ambient light coming through, as you can see from the curtain there. But I tell you what, playing on this big screen, I tell you what, it was absolutely awesome. Now, on the topic of gaming, the ViewSonic V57 4K projector has a response time as low as 4.2 milliseconds and a refresher rate up to 240 Hz. This makes it a pretty nice gaming projector. Now, I had to set up my PlayStation, and it had been some time since I'd set up my PlayStation, and I was quite looking forward to sitting down and start gaming. I totally forgot about updates. So updates had to be downloaded, and I was a little disappointed, but during that interim I played some old school Quake 2. Yes, the graphics aren't as good as the games you get now, but hey, I had some nostalgia and I love that old school Quake game. But once the updates were downloaded, I started playing Ghost of Tsushima because I wanted to see it in 4K, and it looked pretty damn nice. It just gave me that cinematic feel. But what I mainly wanted to play, as I mentioned before, and I started playing it, was God of War Ragnarok in 1080p at 120 Hz, and it was smooth, and yes, it was awesome and cinematic. The colors were great, and I was really enjoying it. I really was. And now I'm going to have to finish this game. I was getting into it. Unfortunately, I don't get to finish it on the ViewSonic, but that's all good. Now, if you're wondering what the ViewSonic Lumens are, well, they're 3500, and with lumens at 3500, it means you don't need a completely dark room when watching the sport. So if you're having people over to watch sport, whether it's the Formula 1 or the soccer, you can watch the sport without having to have a completely dark room, which is awesome. So here's the ViewSonic in action with the Formula 1 and the soccer. Yeah, super quiet, super quiet. What I actually found more noisy was my PlayStation. Because I have the disk drive, or it had to load off the disk a bit, this was louder than the projector. I didn't hear the projector at all. Now, one of the other things I wanted to mention was, even it was easy to set up. I didn't have to go change the color settings or anything like that. I basically just got it level, set it up to the screen size. I did go into the settings and have a look, but I actually found the color on it really good, so I didn't have to worry about doing extra to the projector. I didn't have to go into the colors or the gamut or this and that, keep configuring. Out of the box, it was pretty good. I was actually like, I'm just gonna keep it as it is. I don't have to worry about configuring things, and it was pretty good. And that's what I like about it. At this price, it should be fairly much plug it in, set it up to your image size, and good to go. Now, there's another thing why I like projectors as a whole, and this is just me. When people have come over, they go, "Oh, you got no TV. So what do you watch your movies on?" And I go, "The screen." And they go, "Oh, I didn't even, yeah, okay, of course." And what I like about projectors in that way is the TV isn't the focus of the room, how big the TV is. It's having the screen there, it kind of just blends in with the room. And what's even better, if you wanted to go down that route, was you can get screens that are retractable. It goes up and back down. So it can still, be your living room, your lounge room, your dining room, wherever you have the projector set up. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention, it's fairly light. It's fairly light. Now I'm just going to hold it here. 1, 2, 3. There's your mounting brackets. Now if you're mounting this, if the lens is here, the middle of my room is right where this center speaker is. I want that lens in the middle of the screen. You won't have to use as much keystoning to get it right. And the other thing with that, I love projectors. I really do. When I had my first projector, I didn't go back. Once you've got a projector, it's not like you're going, "Oh, I want a bigger screen TV." Well, these projectors, they can do an image up to 200 inches. That's huge. That's bigger than your lounge room. So, yeah, once you've got one, and the other thing is the lamp life. Well, these don't have lamp lives. My first projector had a lamp, 3,500 hours, and it was a lamp, and I got 8 years out of it. Now, granted, I wasn't watching TV every day. It was probably every second day. I'd probably only watch a TV for an hour. That's all at the time I had at the time. And that lasted me 7 to 8 years. And that was 3,500 hours. These have a life of 20,000 hours. Have it in eco mode, you'll stretch that even further. So it's not like you're going to be replacing these anytime soon. And if you want to go a bigger screen, well, a bigger screen is going to be cheaper than a brand new TV. So, but look, I was quite happy with the previous model, the ViewSonic X1, I think it was. Have a look. I'll leave a link for that at the end of this video if you want to go have a look at that review. The difference between the two, the colors on this are a lot bolder. They're a lot nicer. But other than that, for what you're getting and the price, colors were really nice. And at this price, it's what I'd expect, and it's a nice way of getting to a big screen and doing it. And I do like projectors where they don't take up it's not a TV where it's the feature of the room, or it just kind of blends in. I like that. I wish I could actually keep the projector a bit longer because I'd keep playing this. So, pretty cool. Well, this ViewSonic RGB laser projector was fun to have, and I'm gonna miss this projector because I was getting into God of War Ragnarok. Now, the other thing is, this is a super quiet projector with awesome colors, so go check it out for yourself and see what you think. And in the meantime, if you come to my channel, I really appreciate the views, and if you have subscribed, thank you so much, really appreciated. And as always, Enjoy your movies, your music, and your hi-fi, and I'll see you next time.